See, operation modes are configured only when there is a requirement. It is not configured on every server. See, why do we need operation modes to be configured in the SAP system? See, operation modes can be configured when there are limited work processes of dialogue and background. So first let us understand why we use dialogue work processes and the purpose of the dialogue work processes and background work processes. And the operation modes are related to only these two work processes, dialogue and background. See, dialogue work processes are used to execute all interactive tasks of the SAP system. So what do you mean by interactive tasks? Interactive task means when a user log on, when a user log off, when a user open a transaction, when a user executes some programs on a foreground, on a front end, not in the background. So in the front end, when a user is trying to execute a task, he has time of 300 seconds by default, and when he crosses the 300 seconds, it goes to the timeout error. Timeout mode means that will not be completed. Any task which is going to take more than 300 seconds, it will be dropped. So any task which is going to take more than 300 seconds, it has to be scheduled to the background. So now the operation modes will be configured when there are limited dialogue work processes or limited background work processes. Suppose, let us assume we have 10 dialogue work processes and 5 background work processes on our SAP application system. So it means 10 dialogue work processes means 10 people request can be executed at a time by the dialogue work processes, and 5 background jobs can be executed by the background work processes. Am I right? Are you following?
Yeah.
So in that case, suppose let us assume morning, see, daytime people will log on and nighttime people, the system will be idle. Daytime people will log in and the dialogue work processes will be used for executing those user requests. And whereas during the night time or from evening to till morning again, the system will be idle because it's night hours. Very hardly people will connect to the SAP system from home or remotely. So in that case, the 10 work processes which we are using for day mode, it is most of the work processes will be idle during the night time. So in the night hours, we can convert some of the dialogue work processes to the background for a given time. Say, let us say at evening 8 o'clock, I would like to convert 4 dialogue work processes into background. In that case, during night hours, the total number of dialogue work processes are available as 6, because out of 10 we are converting 4 during the night hours, because actually it was 5, but 4 dialogue work processes are converted into background during the night hours. So 5 plus 4, the background work process would be 9, and during night hours 9 different background jobs can be executed at a time. There is we will define a mode like what is a day mode, night mode and weekend mode. Day mode means it is applicable at let us say if I am defining the day mode will start at morning 6 to evening 8 o'clock, and in this time, at this time we will have more dialogue work processes and less background. We will define it how many, all dialogue and background altogether is 15. We will, out of this 15, during daytime morning 6 AM to evening 8 p.m. how many dialog work processes should be? Like out of 15, I can use 12 for dialog, and 3 I will keep the background during the daytime. I will define it. These many I'm gonna use for daytime, and these many dialog work processes I'm gonna use for daytime, and 3 background work processes I'm gonna use for the daytime. So in the night time, I will also distribute another set of dialog work processes and background work processes, if starting from evening 8 p.m. to till morning 6 a.m. So in that case, again I will define background would be 10 and dialog would be 5, like that. And same I will distribute again for weekends as well. So here we are going to define how many operation modes, like day operation mode, night operation mode, and weekend operation mode. Like that I will define 3 operation modes. Okay. So, and on each operation mode, how many dialog and how many background should exist, that also I will define. And I will also define what time the day mode should start and what time the day mode should end, so that the night mode can start. And when it comes to the weekend, what time the weekend mode should start on Saturday and Sunday, or on a holiday.
So we have a question.
Yes.
So we can set these daytimes, night times, and the weekend in the system. Even if we set up weekend on the Monday, can we do that?
Yeah, we can do that. That's it. Holiday or weekend. It depends what time we are enabling the weekend mode.
Okay.
Okay. And we can define this in in advance. It will be in a predefined, like like for next week I can define today only. So it means I can schedule that for today. So when the date comes, it will start at that time. But day and night mode would continue for every day. So if we are not activating the weekend mode on this Saturday and Sunday, the day and night mode will continue as usual. So something we have to define the weekend mode. Okay, this coming weekend I would like to activate at this time the weekend mode, like morning 10 to evening 6, like that. I'll show you that practically later. So here we are gonna configure 3 things. One is configuring day, night, and exemption mode or weekend mode, distributing the work processes between these modes, enabling the timings for day and night mode, and for weekend mode. So these 3 things we are going to configure it now. So let me log on to the SAP. See that the T code that we can use to configure day, night, and exemption mode is RZ04. Can you see that? RZ04. So there is a operation mode. It's a dummy operation mode. It comes with the by default with the system. Okay. If you want to keep this dummy, then no problem. Or if you want to delete, select the first letter D and go to operation mode, and you can see delete. Yes, I'm deleting. See, no operation modes are defined. So now you have an option. You have a button here to create operation mode. Can you see here the first icon for creating operation mode? Click that, and I'll say here day mode, and here for day operations. Click on save. See, your day mode is created, and click on again create operation mode, night mode. For night operations, click on save, and again click on create operation mode. exemption mode for weekends and holidays. Click on save. So I'm creating day mode, exemption mode and night mode. So there is no time assigned to these modes as of now. We just created. And now we have to distribute how many dialog and background would be for a day mode, for a night mode, for an exemption mode. So I'll click on instances operation modes button here after creating day, night and exemption mode. You see here the next button here, instances operation modes. So in this instances operation mode, I will click on create new instance. I hope you are following. So here we have to give the these options here. See here, what is the host name? And host name of the application server always you will find at the bottom. You see here in the status bar next to the RZ04 you have a name here. Here the name is VISUINF4EC6. This is the host name of the SAP system for which you are going to work. So for when you log on to your SAP system, you will have some other name here. So I'm using that name. What is that name? VISU Info EC6. That is a host name of the SAP system. And what is the system number? The system number is the instance number of this host name application server. So where do I get? I can get here in the SAP logon. You see here, this is my EC6, and what is the instance number here? 06. You see that? 06, and I'll give it here 06.
You said system. You said system number is the instance number of this of what?
Application server. The host name is the application server, right? And the system number is the instance number of this application server. Okay. So application server, you can find it here in the status bar, and this instance number you can go to your SAP logon and you can find the instance number. And what is the start profile? See, we have not discussed these profiles, but as of now, I can just select the available profile. So start profile means select the selection button. At the last you see here, this is the selection button. The profile that ends with the host name. This is the profile. The other profile is a dummy profile, and the actual profile is the profile that ends with the host name. You see at the last you see underscore visu info EC6. Similarly, instance profile also I will select at ends with the host name. See, these profiles contains the SAP application server parameters. That is the reason it asks to mention the current profile of this application server. So after this operation mode, we will discuss more on these profiles. So I gave host name, application server name, instance number, and the start profile. There are many dummy profiles, but we have to choose the profile that ends with our host, with our application server name. So start profile and instance profile name I gave, and after that, can I click on save? Right. See, profile does not contain any errors. Okay, continue. Can you see here? When you click on save, you will get this window. Work process distribution for operation modes. So what are my actual configuration? I have 12 dialog and only 3 background. Can you see that? So when I click on save button, I got this window.
So, but how this numbers are being predefined?
It is not predefined. It is the actual dialog work processes enabled for this application server. They are not predefined. It is the actual number available for the background for these application servers. And how these are defined? So these are defined in the instance profile. You see, total how many dialog work processes we're going to use on an application server is there will be a parameter that contains value 12, and there will be a parameter for background work processes that contain the value 3. It means it is these dialog will be 12 available on this application server. Background is 3 available on this application server. And what I am doing here now, so during night time, dialog 12 will be out of 12 dialog work processes, most of the dialog work processes are idle. At the same time, for night time, background work processes are insufficient. So instead of,
So can you first show us the dialog processes which are 12 right now, because you did not show that one step, right? So directly this numbers came up. So
yeah, number.
There is a step to define this, and then only we log into the system, right? So
No, that we will discuss in the profiles, these profiles. Okay. After this, I will go with the explaining you these profiles, system profiles. Okay. That's what I'm saying. As of now, I'm saying, there in the system, the dialog work processes are defined as 12. Background work processes are defined as 3. So that is the reason I'm getting this window here, and it shows default available dialog and background work processes. Okay. So after this operation modes, I will show you where the dialog work process 12 is being defined and where the background work process is being defined. You okay? Okay. So take the cursor to the background work processes here. So it is blinking here on 3. Okay. My cursor is blinking on 3. So here you have plus and minus sign. So you want to increase or you want to decrease, you can, if you click on plus sign, it will increase by 1 the background work process. If you click on minus, it will decrease by 1. So I want to go with the same configuration for a day mode, because daytime we will have more dialog work processes. We require dialog mode. So that's why I would like to have same configuration for day and night mode. I don't want to do any changes. I click on save. So it asks for assign work process distribution to other operation modes. Yes, because I have 2 more operation modes, night and exemption mode. So here I will select night mode. So for night mode, take the cursor to the background work process and click on plus sign. You see here 12:3. I click on plus sign when my cursor is on background work processor 3. See, it became 4 and dialog became 11. It became 5, dialog became 10. No. Yeah, I would like to have 6 background and 9 dialog during the night time. Click on save. I have one more work processor. It is exemption mode. And here 10 and 5 I would like to use. So do we have any other? No. Can you see here? Operation mode, day, night, exemption. Dialog is, dialog is on day mode is 12. Dialog on exemption mode is 10. Dialog on night mode is 9. Similarly, background during the day mode is 3. Background during the exemption mode is 5. Background during the night mode is 6. We are not doing anything for the other work processes. It will remain same. As I told you, operation modes are only between the dialog and background. So can I click on save now? So we did 2 tasks now. One is creating operation mode and then distributing the work processes for each operation mode. So for dialog and background we have to distribute. Okay, just go back to the main window, and from operation modes you have a timetable here. The operation mode menu, you have a timetable, or you have a T code for that, SM63. You can directly go to SM63 or you can use that menu. So here you have two things. Normal operation for 24 hours is day and night mode. Exemption operation is for weekends or for holidays we can do. Let me go with the normal operation and click on change. So I have starting from 00 to morning 00 to evening 00. So out of these 24 hours, what time I would like to enable day mode? See, morning 6 to 7, the day mode will start. Double click on 6 AM to 6 AM and 7 AM, this time interval, and it will go up to 19 and 20, means 8 PM. Start time, you double click. End time, you double click. That complete time interval will be selected. Click on assign day mode. Do you see that? Similarly, for night mode, click on evening 8:20 to 21 time interval, and click on morning 5 to 6 time interval. Click on assign night mode. See, I have assigned timing for day mode and night mode, and click on save. Now I will go with the exemption mode. Click on change. You see here, specify a day. On what day you want to enable this? So can I enable Saturday for tomorrow, 21st? As per the server, it is tomorrow. Can I enable at morning? Yeah, morning 8 to evening 4. Assign. It depends what time, but I am using morning 8 to evening 4. See, only at this time exemption mode. See, exemption mode will work because exemption mode will take first precedence. So when a day and night mode is already running, if there is any exemption mode, then day night mode will be converted to the exemption mode. So what, suppose if there is any day mode or if there is any night mode is configured between these time, it will stop that and it will switch over to the exemption mode. And remaining time I will not use anything because it will continue as per the 24 hours normal operations, day or night mode. This is the timing, and you see here at the back the day mode is started, night mode is started. So now RZ04 is used for creating operation mode, for setting up the time for operation mode, and for distributing the work processes for the operation modes. And if you want to see as per the server time, what is the operation mode currently it is running now? RZ03. See, the current mode is a day mode. I'm not sure what is the time on the server, but as per the server time, it is a day mode.
If you are predefining the mode, why would it overlap? Like, you know, why would precedent, like override? Why would it override? Because we are defining it properly, right? Like 9.
We have defined two things. One is normal operations. Every day it will go with the normal operations, like what we have defined in the normal operation, day and night mode. But in the exemption mode, we have defined another time on a particular day. Am I right? So on that day, the exemption mode will, will be given the first precedence. Like it will be given the first top priority.
So that is my question, right? You are defining it properly, the exemption mode to be available on weekends and holidays. Why would there be a question of even like given precedence? That is what I'm not understanding.
See, 24 hours means it will apply for every day, right? The system
Right.
will not identify whether it is a weekend or a weekday.
No, system has to identify whether it's a weekend or weekday, right? Why would the system will be so dumb that it cannot identify the weekend and weekday?
It will not identify because in the 24 hours it continues every day, right?
No, but
Okay,
that's
suppose if it is
right?
suppose if it is identifying weekends, then how we will identify the holidays?
That is a calendar, right? That is by default the system is defined to identify the weekdays and the weekends. Because you take an example of a calendar in your Outlook, right? The weekends it will automatically it will show that you are non-working hours, and the weekdays it will show properly working hours. That's where we have the calendars, right? So
Right.
that is
It will not be by default. If somebody we have to enable that on the Outlook. Am I right? We have to define that in the Outlook. It will not identify by default, I guess. Okay, let's leave about Outlook. But here, what do you mean by normal operations, like 24 hours? So in the normal operations, we are not defining what is Monday and what is Friday. It means the normal operation goes for 24 hours. And according to the server time, it will take 24 hours. And in the normal operations, we are not defining
Exactly.
what is a weekday and what is a weekend. So that is the reason it will go for every day, day and night mode. Even on Saturday, Sunday also, it will continue that day and night mode according to that time. Suppose if I define a exemption mode on a day, either it could be a weekends or it could be a weekday.
So you pick a date.
Right. We pick up a date. Or a date, one day or more than one date. And on that date, whatever the time we have given the the exemption mode, so exemption mode will be first given the priority. System, if it is running in the day or night mode, it will switch over to the exemption mode.
Right. So that is because we are defining it, right? Yeah. Because
Right, we are
my understanding, my question is, we are defining it properly. So where is the question of precedence? That is what I am not understanding. Because if you are manually going, for example, assume that my operations are going for 24 hours normal mode. Now, if I have to define tonight as a precedence, I will go and define right away. Means I will, because I decide based on my management decision, I decide, okay, let's switch our normal day operations to exemption mode. So that is where the precedence come. Like if we are predefining in the system, it will operate based on the predefined way, right? But for example, today is what, 1920 is normal operation, and I'm defining the 21st as exemption operation. So it will automatically work accordingly, right? So Sunday again it will go back to normal operation.
Right.
I'm just correlating with the precedence or the override parameter what we have in the software.
Why? Because see, we already defined two things here. A normal operation means every day it will go through. From a normal operation, it has to convert to the exemption mode. So that's what we are defining on a day.
Okay.
Okay. See, when night mode is working, that is also we define for a 24 hours. From night mode, it is not a normal mode, it is a night mode. From night mode, it is converting into the exemption mode. Night mode also defined one, and exemption mode is also defined for a particular day. So from night mode it is forcibly converting into the exemption mode. Or for a day mode, according to the time, it is forcibly converting to the exemption mode. That is for automatic settings. Now, suppose you don't want that automatic switchover, and as of now I want to convert manually whatever the present mode is day mode, and I want to convert it to the exemption mode. So in the RZ03, I can even use choose operation mode manually. Exemption mode. Now exemption mode is manually switched. If I am not using manually, then it will follow as per the timing we have defined in the SM63.
Can you show me that again, because I was looking in my notes, so can I...
Okay, here if you see choose operation mode, and you have exemption mode, day mode, night mode, you can select any one mode, double click. The active operation mode will be the one which you have selected. So this is manually converting the present running mode into other mode.